Up, ladies and gentlemen, in case you can't read, my name is DavidCigam. This is my Better Call Saul Season 3, Episode 6, titled Off-Brand Review. A quick summary: we have a cold opening and we see tensions between Nacho and Hector. We see Jimmy pretty much got off free. We see tension between Jimmy and Chuck's ex-wife, where Chuck's ex-wife pretty much said, "Hey, Jimmy, Chuck's right, you're an asshole." Jimmy can't be a lawyer for a whole year, so he tells his clients, like, "Hey, you know what? I can't be a lawyer. I'll send you a letter, and I guess I'll start up again next year." He realizes he still has a commercial airing. He can't get rid of that commercial. He would have to pay for it. So he pretty much starts to try to make commercials for people to give them free airtime so he doesn't have to pay for those commercials. Kimmy wants to fire the assistant and downsize their law office. Jimmy doesn't want that. He says, "Kimmy, I'll give you the money. Don't fire her. Don't downsize. I'll give you my half." And then we see the Better Call Saul persona for the very first time. We see Saul Goodman on a commercial, and it was very, non-dramatic. It was a commercial that Jimmy didn't really like, and he was the Saul Goodman character trying to sell a commercial spot. And then in the other parts of the episode, we had Mike with his daughter-in-law at a weird meeting at a church, and his daughter-in-law volunteering Mike to build a playground. I really don't know where that's going. And then we had more Nacho moments where Nacho had a gun pointed at him because Hector wanted 6 bags from Gus, not 5 bags. And Nacho got Hector those 6 bags, and then Hector wanted Nacho to go ahead and try to use his dad's business to smuggle in drugs. Nacho didn't want to do that, but Hector's pushing him to do that. We saw Gus looking to buy the laundry mat in this episode, and we also saw Lydia for the very first time in Better Call Saul. Another Breaking Bad character returns. And now let's get into the review. It was, in my opinion, might be the worst episode of the season, because a lot of these scenes in this episode felt very, very, very unnatural and awkward and amateurish, in my opinion. And the way the actors were saying their dialogue just didn't feel natural. And usually Better Call Saul is a show where the interactions between the characters is almost a very natural feeling. You don't really get that on a lot of TV shows. It's not awkward, but it's not natural. In Better Call Saul, in the Breaking Bad, you always kind of got a natural feeling between the characters and the dialogue. And this episode really kind of felt off. The dialogue wasn't off, and these actors in this show are good actors. But for some reason, there's multiple scenes in this episode where the actors were saying their lines, but it was just coming off kind of acted. It was coming off kind of forced. It wasn't coming off natural. And I'll give you some examples. We had Mike and his daughter-in-law at the church, and his daughter-in-law's monologue felt very weird. It was almost like maybe it was like a script reading. It was very weird, not natural, in my opinion. And then we had the scene between Jimmy and Chuck's ex-wife. Again, the dialogue in that scene was very not natural, very forced, very amateurish. Hector, at the very end, when he found out Tuco stabbed a guard or something, his reaction, not natural, very weird, very forced. Howard and Chuck, when they were ending their celebration, Howard and Chuck celebrated, and then Chuck also called his doctor on the phone. I guess Chuck's getting over his electricity thing, but that was also not natural. So it kind of shocked me that I felt like the directing in this episode was not that great. I felt like there's too many actors who are good actors whose lines just came out very unnatural, and it was just a very weird episode. And it wasn't a bad episode. It wasn't like I was bored or not entertained. It was just that it just didn't seem natural. It just didn't seem like a Better Call Saul quality episode between the actors and the dialogues and the scene, and definitely the cinematography. It was very weird, very awkward. And I just think this episode maybe had bad directing. What is funny, because I've been doing these reviews, and I've been thinking about trying to create a way to rate each episode that I watch and review, like a system. Rate them on 5 different elements of the show. And I always thought it'd be kind of weird for me to do it for Better Call Saul, because Better Call Saul is such a good show that a lot of my ratings would probably be 5s. If it was at a 0 out of 5 stars, a lot of Better Call Saul episodes would be between 4.5 to 5 stars. And this episode probably wouldn't have had that. There's a lot of elements that I'm thinking about rating shows on that this episode would have failed on because it just seemed very amateurish, very sloppy. It didn't seem natural. And I guess I have to blame the directing. I don't think the dialogue was bad, and I don't think the actors are bad. But I think maybe the directing in this episode was just not that great. And that's why it kind of was in poor quality. And that's why I would probably say this was one of the worst episodes of the season so far. But I do like where the show is going. I do like how we're seeing Jimmy become more of a salesman that he is. How he's having some tension with Kimmy now. How Chuck seems to be getting out of it, focusing on something else. I do like Gus coming back in and bringing other Breaking Bad characters back in. And I do like that there's a storyline going on between Nacho and Hector. I do like that. I didn't like the acting, or maybe I should clarify, I didn't like the directing in this episode, but I would like to know what you guys think. What did you think of the directing? You think it was good? You think it was bad? Did you watch the episode and see no problem, or did you watch the episode and see it was kind of off too? I'd like to know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and click like, and if you want to see more DavidCigam or Better Call Saul reviews, please go ahead and subscribe. And I will see you guys later. Hopefully not with the webcam quality. Hopefully I'll have the camera in my studio back up. But until next time, my name is DavidCigam. Peace out. And I'm just going to click a button. I'm not going to do that thing. So, peace.